Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Keep the Mic On. I am Simply Sherry, and as we've discussed every week that we have been here since March 2020 in conversation with an artist, mostly poets, but definitely writers and creatives of all disciplines. And tonight, I'm not even going to tell you more about my night because I'm hosting. So you'll get more about everything in a few moments. Our friend Kaniki Jakarta, the first Black Poet Laureate of Alexandria, Virginia, is having technical issues right now. We hope to have her in the stream shortly. But for now, I'm going to kick it to the one, the only girl genius.
Yes, while we're waiting for Kaniki. So I am one of the other hosts of the show. If you do not know me, my name is Danielle Reed, also known as Girl Genius. My week is called Let's Talk About the ... usually books. But I am going to pull some other creatives in next season, and I'm super excited about who I have planned for the lineup. Yay! Usually I dig into books and process and publishing and all the questions, the burning questions that you have in your writer brains, if you're writers, or in your creative brains, if you do other things, if you want to know how to do this thing, that's the show to watch. Actually, any show to watch. This Keep the Mic On has been repeatedly called a masterclass, and trust me when I say that is not that is not us humble bragging. That is literally it. If you know the people that we've had on this show, they have been absolutely amazing. Since you threw it on the bottom, I'm going to do what Nikki normally does.
Thank you.
Say, FYI, if you do not know, we self-support this show. So if you would like to help us keep the mic on, please know that we are Keep the Mic on Cash App. You may join our Patreon where we have extra content, videos from seasons 1 and 2. We are pushing this into a podcast, so there will be audio versions of all this stuff coming. And on top of that, there will be like extra content, exclusive, like heads up on people we have coming into next season. Yay, I'm excited about that. We do have another host who is Lord Jesus, I had a moment. Another host, Charity Blackwell, who does poets and platform. No, not poets and platform.
Art plus therapy.
Art plus therapy. I'm sorry. That's what happens when you have like 4 amazing women on the show who talk about all kinds of really dope stuff. So we do have another segment on Art Plus Therapy. That's Charity's week. She is, I am first week of the month. Charity is second week of the month. As you know, you are here pre-Thanksgiving. Yay. It's Thanksgiving week, short week.
Yes.
So there's that. And I believe Nikki isn't connected yet, so
we're still waiting. I'm a stall for one more moment, and I'm going to go ahead and make the announcement. On the front end, next weekend is Thanksgiving, and we will be taking the weekend off, so there will be no show next week, but we will be back first weekend in December. So we will be back, and then we'll have a couple of shows, and then we'll go into our Christmas holidays hiatus as we did last year.
Yes.
Okay. So Kaniki would also want us to tell you in this moment to tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your mama and them. Now is the time to catch us on Facebook or Facebook or YouTube. If you were on the YouTube community, please. Here we go. Here's Kaniki.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Hey,
Kaniki. Fantastic. I was going to be like, can you hear me? I don't know. So you already told them to tell their mama and them to join us. Did you tell them that we have a Cash App? Did you tell them that?
Yeah, I did tell them that part, but I didn't tell them about your segment. You talk about you and your segment. There you go.
I will talk about me and my segment, and let me just say, make sure you like and follow the page as well. Follow, like, and follow and share and all of that. I am Kaniki Jakarta. I am 1/4 of this awesome collective. I present Poets and Platforms, where I interview poets who have platforms for the art. I am repping my Obama shirt tonight. I was like, what y'all know about Obama? I'm wearing my Obama shirt tonight. Yes, brown. I'm super duper excited about, I say this every week, right? But I'm super duper excited about our special guest tonight because, you know, people, they I don't know what she started off start off as. But when I met her, she started off as a poet because she could have did a whole slew of things before then. I always say that poets, their bios are expired by the time you read them, but she has went on to do some amazing things. I follow of hers on Facebook and Instagram, and you should be too. So I'm gonna kick it over to our hostess for the night. I see she has on purple, and I'm loving the gloss. Come on, is that lipstick gloss? Whatever, you know.
It is.
You give us
know
a
what? And in a few moments, I will tell you everything about this lipstick action going on here because I want to give proper credit to the gloss and the lips going on here because we support Black. We buy Black. Some we buy Black, so we're gonna talk about it. So everyone, I am going to send everyone off screen. Tonight is my night to host, and my night is called From Behind the Microphone. And what that means for me, and when I say that, is that my tagline is that poets are people too, even though not everyone that I interview is a poet. Tonight, with much excitement and much fanfare and waiting, because I know in October this person is very busy. So I waited until after October to bring her on. Tonight, I bring you our friend, Ms. Mamie Beats, who we met as the poet known as Stiletto. Now, I am being a bad host in this exact moment because I don't have your bio sitting in front of me. So I'm going to let you dazzle the audience with a poem, and then I will read your bio when I come back.
Hey, okay, everybody. Thank you. Keep the mic on. So I'm going to go into it because I don't know how long this is going to be, but I would like to preface that you can insert a name in here, not just an object, and just insert the name. Insert the name where I have the word whiskey. I love whiskey. I want to be undone by you. Every look to eat me up, every touch that made my pussy quiver, surely every text you made asking me my ETA. Undo every time my moans sound beautiful in your ear, and face to face, and breast to chest, and between your legs and when we spoke. Undo those kisses that taste like whiskey was infinity longer than forever, and those kisses were afterlife, my ad. But undo them. Undo the pulling of my waist into your thrust simultaneously, because pulling my hair also created waterfalls, splashing like a hot spring against rocks you got off. Undo the small talk we both hated to get to the good part. Undo how you enjoy my ass paying you back for a job well felt. Undo the miscommunication we both communicated, which was punishable by 2 days. See, that was the last time I stood still waiting to undo emotions I allowed to take over inside of me. But you crossed my mind today. Undo that. Undo what I know will never be, but feels good knowing that too. While you're restrictive and I'm cautious, they both result in, what the fuck? Undo me from your apartment. Make it impossible for me to come again, but you made me love whiskey as much as I love to come for you. Undo why I feel like I give a damn. Undo why you don't. Undo the silence in phone calls we never make, but undo the text too. Undo you overanalyzing of what could be or not. Undo why I give into your bullshit so much. Undo the dance that got you sprung on your birthday. Undo the wings and things and drinks that started it all. Shit. I love whiskey.
Yes, so happy because I haven't heard you do a poem in so long, but I know. I understand more than anybody that sometimes poetry takes a back seat.
Yeah.
Mamie Brown, also known as Ms. Mamie Beats, is a trained and self-taught makeup artist specializing in body artistry and special effects. Now residing in Baltimore, Maryland, formerly of Prince George's County. The creative shift from poetry to makeup has landed her right where she hopes to be for a long time. She is more than a face painter. She wants your entire body to create what she imagined, not only what she is inspired by. She is still a lover of clean beauty, as in everyday wear, weddings, and editorial work. She teaches one-on-one makeup classes and virtual classes as well. After 25 years as a cosmetologist in Alexandria, Virginia, she will be hanging up her shears to pick up her brushes, poetically, indefinitely. Everyone, this is Ms. Mamie Beats, like I said, our buddy. And we're going to talk about a lot of things. And I wanted everyone, so for everyone that is unfamiliar with her work, I have this queued up for us because this was one of my favorites from the holidays, from Halloween.
Now, I'll tell you what, I expect this to be a neat and tidy TikTok, so there'll be no liking on this video. Oh, look at that, you've hit like and the number's gone up. Well, certainly we won't comment, because then we'll clutter it up with words. Oh, there's comments over there, isn't there? Well, we can still keep this a secret between you and me, because we haven't shared, and if we don't, well, you've shared it now, and everyone will find it. Well, at least I can keep my privacy, because you haven't followed. Oh, you followed! Whatever are we to do?
I love that.
Thank you.
I love, I watch often. And and the thing is that I personally, okay, so I do not have TikTok on my phone. I watch it on my computer. So like I will watch, like when I'm sitting watching a bunch of TikToks and then I put TikTok away.
It's addictive.
I'm of a certain age. Some things ain't for me.
Yeah.
So my first question is, I don't even know where to begin. I'm telling y'all, I really don't. So let me, okay, here we go. How do you, it's a planning thing. Oh, got it. Do you do these twice? Because I know that there is the one that you do it live. And then there are what I will call TikTok skits. And I can't see how you're doing them both at the same time.
So that's pretty funny because I generally find out the character or what I want to do first.
Okay.
I then prepare my TikToks. So I do those before, generally before I even start. And that's just like where you saw me doing just the light painting and stuff like that. And I'm talking and doing the skit.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I'm finished or before I finish, I generally, when I get off of the tutorial doing Facebook time, I'm not finished. So it helps me to do those in between and get those little skits going in the transitions and stuff like that, because the transition is important.
Mm-hmm.
The transition is important. So it helps me to transition well. And, then I go ahead and finish up on TikTok.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, wait a minute. You have to practice because
No.
When
I tell you it's totally impromptu, like, okay, so yes, we do have to rehearse. I know I probably have to get it down because I want my mouth to be in sync with the thing, but generally it's it also kind of relates to poetry too. So when you're memorizing, so it's a little easier to kind of memorize those little short parts. Mm-hmm. And then just get it on. You do about two to three and get on with Facebook and my tutorial.
Wow. Okay, I hadn't planned on getting here this quickly, but we're here now. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yes, y'all. I'm surprised that she does this in one shot, because if you'd have asked me personally, there would be a test run because you make some of the prosthetics yourself, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody, we found out that Mamie was transitioning to makeup artistry in Baltimore at Be Free Fridays about 5 years ago.
You remember that?
I remember that. She came in with scars or like burn around her mouth.
Yeah.
That you'd made with toilet paper.
Yeah. Toilet paper and Elmer's glue.
And it held on through the night.
The whole entire night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you remember that?
I remember that. I wish I had a picture of it because it was So amazing. And definitely, we're definitely going to have to do some more screen shares because I'm telling you, everybody, first off, follow Mamie. Her IG is Ms. Mamie Beats.
Yes.
And also follow her website. She keeps track of all of her work there as well. So I definitely want everyone to please follow. And Danielle is telling me she may have that pic. Let me know because I'll be more than happy to throw it up.
The pic from 5 years ago?
Yeah, wait a second. Pulling you in, Danielle, real quick. Go ahead. Muted. You're muted. She can't hear us. You're muted.
Gigi, you're muted.
Oh shit. Yeah, the last thing I said was oh shit while I'm trying to find the button. I believe that I have it. I will look around in my Facebook and see if I can find it. I can't promise you, but I'll see if it's there. I want to see.
I hope you have it.
Mm-hmm.
You said from about 5 years ago? I'm pretty
it's
sure.
About 5 years ago. Halloween at Be Free Fridays.
I will look. Give me a second.
All right. So that's when we started knowing as poets what she was doing. She always had a beat face when we saw her on the scene.
I tried.
We all try. Oh, speaking of trying, I said I would inform y'all of this lipstick and this lip situation I have going on right now because we're Black owned. I am not an influencer. I barely know what I'm doing with my face half the time. The base lipstick is Mented No. 5, which is a good nude for me.
Yes.
And then the lip gloss is from my friend Tina. And I believe the line is called SMB Cosmetics. And the gloss is called Nebula.
Neverland?
Nebula. I will drop her Etsy page in the comments. I don't know if she has any available right now. Okay. But I don't know if the shop is open right now, but I will definitely make sure everybody at least has access to her shop. But yes, this is her lip gloss, and I saw the color and I loved it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and buy that.
It's pretty. It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite quick combos. Mm-hmm. All right, so back to makeup artistry. What led you to decide to? I know we know that for 25 years you've been a cosmetologist doing hair. She's done mine a couple of times. Mm-hmm. What led you to decide to go into makeup artistry?
I've always done, I'm not gonna say I've always done makeup, but I was professionally trained, started going to classes in 2008. Mm-hmm. And those classes were really expensive, but I wasn't utilizing what I had learned. I was really afraid. The clients I had back in 2008 to maybe just about 2012, they were very corporate. My clients were very corporate. They were stay-at-home moms, and they just weren't into makeup. They were really into minimal, when I say eyeliner, lip gloss, a little shimmer on the eye, and they were not doing brows.
Oh.
They were very, very, very corporate. And so I didn't know how to make them marry, although they do very well. I just couldn't get them to come together and try let me try this. And it was just oh, okay, I'll try some other time. And I just couldn't get it to come together. So most of the makeup that I did back then were wedding. I did a lot of weddings back then. And that's where the clean beauty is. And then, the young girls started coming up. They started wanting more color. So I was just what? And so I had to start, indulging in that. And it wasn't until I got to Baltimore that I was like, I need to change this. I need to change this and go in that direction, because a lot of YouTubers were into colors. They were into cut creases. They were into big lashes, and I had to roll in there with it. To roll in there with them.
So what led you to start doing the live tutorials?
First of all, those are not easy. I was very afraid because one, like you said, I would show up to poetry venues and I would have a face on. Mm-hmm. Very few, when I say very few, knew what I looked like without makeup. It was few. And so it was getting used to seeing myself without makeup on camera and all these people looking at me, 25, 20 people at a time. And I'm like, okay, you're going to have to really work on your skin. You're going to have to really work on this and stuff like that. So that's the tutorials helped because in a sense, I wanted to get my followers up. The tutorials helped because it actually helped me see me for me before I started to put all the, stuff on. And then I wanted to get people's reaction. I wanted to see where they were in makeup. I wanted them to trust me enough to, hire me to do their makeup, book me. So that's why I started doing tutorials. And
Okay. You dropped off towards the end. You said that's why you started doing tutorials. And
hello?
Can you hear me? Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
What's going on here?
Uh-oh. Don't tell me StreamYard is
Do
playing.
you see me?
I can see you. I
Can
can
you hear me?
you. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Uh-oh.
Let me see.
We apologize. Technical difficulties. Stuff happens in 2022.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you at all.
Uh-oh. I'm not muted. Hold on 1 second. Can you hear me, Danielle?
I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Sorry, just taking a mic check. 1 2 1 2.
It has to be her. Can you hear me? Yeah, we can't hear her.
Yeah. No, I could hear her. She can't hear me.
Right.
You want me to
So
leave
it has
and come
to be
back
her.
in?
Yeah, leave and come back in. So I'm going to bring Kaniki up for a moment because I know you have something in the works that you want to tell everybody about.
I do.
Go ahead.
I have several things. What am I telling them? You tell me. What am I?
Anything you want to tell them about that you have coming up that you want people to pay attention to?
Okay. Well, let me say we are. I want to tell people that. Wait, hold on. Let me get the right date. I want to tell people about next month because I definitely want everybody to tune in when we're doing our wrap-up show. That's going to be on December the 12th.
Correct.
So we're going to be doing a wrap-up on December the 12th. So we're going to talk about like what you've seen and who you've seen and what you liked and what we liked and who we like. We like everybody we brought on here, to let you know. Yes. But I definitely want everybody to be tuned in. So I want you to calendar that so that you're live with us because it's going to be our last show for the year. And we have some announcements that we're going to be announcing. So we definitely want to do that. So if you want to, give us some suggestions on who you should, who you would like to see interviewed here, we'd love to hear those suggestions. So yes, December 12th. I see Mamie's back, so hopefully we can.
All right, one moment. Well, since both both Girl Genius and I are here, we should also add a calendar this Thursday, December 9th. With former special guest Alex Alexander in Baltimore. Danielle and I, we will be featuring at Poets on the Avenue,
right,
311 Madison Avenue. Check our social medias for all the details, but there are 5 poets on this list, including former guest Analysis and
who's also our silent male member.
A silent male member. C. Thomas is on this bill.
Yep.
I think there's
former
guest too. I think there's only one person on the bill that is not a former guest, but definitely a future guest. Right. Like how I put that out there?
Yes. I do believe that is correct, though.
Yes. And one thing, I did put the Etsy shop for Soulful Bliss Cosmetics, which is currently offline right now. But if I find out it comes back up, I put the link in the comments. All right. Let me see how we're doing. Can you hear us now, Mamie?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect. It's all right. We in the age of the internets and stuff happens.
My son is coming home for Thanksgiving, so he was trying to FaceTime me.
Kids will do that to you, no matter how old they are.
I know.
Okay, so we were talking about the live tutorials. And you mentioned that you just started as a way so that you could better see how you were doing your makeup. Mm-hmm. What has been at the beginning? What was the general response for you when you were doing it?
For myself or from people?
from people to you?
Oh, it was overwhelming.
Mhm.
It was overwhelming to the point where I just knew I had an appointment. I had a job to do almost every night or every other night,
Mhm.
and I would get people inboxing me. When's the next time you're going to be on? They would have suggestions of who they wanted me to try and draw, and I was just like, I don't draw. I can see it on the body and do it, but to draw on paper, I look stick figures.
Mhm.
That's exactly what you're going to get. To this day, I really try, but it doesn't relate well. But if it's on your body, like I can see it on the body better. I can't put it on paper. So I was like, I don't know if I can draw all that.
How long does it take you to plan? So for October, for the last 3 Octobers, Mamie has done a weekly costume, makeup, full body thing. How long does it take you to plan one character?
I'll study the character for about a day or two.
Mhm.
And that's just like keep going to the internet, looking, trying to find the best picture that's most clear to me,
Mhm.
to myself. And I just go ahead and just kind of map it out in my head. But as far as clothes, all I'm gonna do, I'll do like face up,
Mhm.
but nothing chest down, nothing from shoulders down, because one, I can't afford those props. I
Right.
cannot. So that's why I chose body painting to make it look like clothes. So I started out doing body paints and made it to look like, I call them t-shirts. And so, I mean, I would have some people, like I did Looney Tunes and the Flintstones and the Smurfs, and they were like, hey, where'd you get that t-shirt from? I drew it. I put that on it. You are lying. I mean, in my inbox. And I'm like, I'm not lying. It's paint. And then some people say, you got me again. The Ninja Turtles. Guess who contacted me from Ninja Turtles? Is his name? I think it's Michael Bay. I want to say Michael Bay.
Oh, wow.
I think he's from Michael Bay. I had just tagged him. Someone said, you should tag Michael Bay. So I tagged him and he came. He said, awesome job. I was like, what? Okay.
Okay, everyone. This was my other favorite one that she did this year that I have on my share screen right now, Medusa. I was in love. What? I know you do not have a whole lot of props, but you have the fingernails and the hair. What is everything that went into this? That's what I'm trying to say.
So it was the metal nails that I ordered from Amazon.
Mhm.
That nasty snake, and that's why it's only one, because I do not like snakes.
Mhm.
The headpiece I got from Spirit Halloween, which is my favorite store every year of October 1st.
Mhm.
Because they like me and the price is right. I have, you see the shiny part on the forehead? You probably
Yes.
can't see the neck too much, but those are shards of iridescent, like I don't want to say baking paper, but it's like
Oh,
iridescent
wow.
paper. It's like shards of that. And that was a Dickens to get off. The neon are clip-ons from the hair store. The rest is water paint makeup, water paint. Yeah.
Okay. So we've talked about Michael Bay, and we would be remiss in this moment. We're going to talk about Chucky. This was October 1st. Before I get into Chucky, how many do you plan to do every October? Like, what is your general plan?
Last year, I challenged myself to
Mhm.
do 31 days of Halloween.
Okay.
I don't know how many hours I've slept. I slept the whole month. I don't know how often I ate because I lost weight that month. I couldn't even eat, y'all. I was literally operating off of smoke and fumes to get up and go to work.
Mhm.
But next year, I think I'm going to challenge myself and do 31 days. This year, I did not do 31 days. I did iconic childhood characters.
Mhm.
And I knew it was going to call for prosthetics. And so prosthetics is not cheap if I couldn't make them. So I had to buy them. And there's a lot of shipping wars going on. I had to go with who can get it to me at a decent time and just kind of plan ahead like that. But I wanted to go with Chucky because Chucky has been trending since the summertime. And I don't know if you guys had been seeing like some Chucky trends where people were dressing, they were making clothes like Chucky. And it just wasn't in the makeup arena. It was like regular, like fashion designers, they were creating these Chucky outfits. And Chucky started trending. I said, my first one's going to be Chucky.
And yep. What happened with Chucky?
So Chucky got twisted. So every character became a twisted character. That's why, some people, Sherry, you would not believe, some people have deleted me. Some people have blocked me. Some people have really questioned, like, what's going on in your head. And that's fine, because that's a response that I want.
That's creativity, though.
Yeah. I can name a few people that we know. But anyway, so they have that's the route you chose to go. That's fine. And so I'm just going to keep on doing what I'm doing. But, I gave a notice. I gave a little, hey, this Halloween is going to be twisted. And that's how I felt this year. I just really wanted to indulge and then push myself also to see how wicked or which way can I go with this, because everything isn't pretty. So. And
you heard from whom regarding this Chucky and your images?
Regarding this Chucky, I was contacted by the Sci-Fi Channel, and I thought it was a joke. So, and what's ironic, before I get to this part, what's ironic is that a lot of makeup artists, they run to TikTok to start off their Halloween season. They even do it before Halloween, before October 1st, because they want to give you a little snippet of what their Halloween is going to look like. So I go over to TikTok and they banned my video. So they told me the original video, which I think I've chopped it up so much, it's not even in my phone. I can't find it. But in one of the pictures, I do have a knife. But in this specific video, because I know how they like to, talk about community guidelines, I did not have a knife. I simply had my hand in this motion. And they sent me, they took my video down and they said it was causing bodily harm. And I was like, to who? Me? There's nothing in my hand. So I trimmed the video. I went back and I kind of laughed at it. And I said TikTok took my video down, but here's another one, and I'm laughing. And then I stopped laughing. I just put pictures as a slideshow. They then took that down and told me that I was banned for 24 hours because I am violating community guidelines. Wow. So when they put a screen up there that says sensitive material or watch anyway, a lot of people, they're not going to take the time to say watch anyway. So it brings your viewership down. Okay. It was from October 1st, I'm going to say October 2nd to October 15th, I believe it was, that Sci-Fi had contacted me and somebody seen it anyway. So TikTok was trying to hide it. Someone else seen it. They contacted me through Instagram and said, hey, we love your Chucky enthusiasm. We would like to feature it during our new Chucky series. It will be across the board on all the social platforms, social media platforms, websites, commercials, everything. And I was just like, so my son was actually on a FaceTime and my mouth is open. He said, what's wrong with you? And I said, if they have a blue check, that means that it's real. And he said, yeah. And I said, Sci-Fi just contacted me. He said, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to tell them, yeah. So I read all of the like guidelines, the policy, like a PR form, which really isn't like a PR form. It's just saying that, they're not obligated. I'm not obligated, the whole thing. And that basically I will not be paid for it. But I will get credit, because I went back and asked him, I said, if I'm not being paid for it, will I get the credit for it? They said, yeah, your name will be across everything as this or what have you. Photo, Mamie Brown, creator, or what have you. So I said, okay, that's fine. And I haven't caught it yet. I mean, I've spent endless hours trying to stay up and watching, and it's on my phone. I'm looking on their stories. I haven't found it yet, but the Chucky series isn't over.
Okay, it'll come up. It'll come up. I have no doubts it will come up.
I hope so. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the word of the moment. As we've mentioned previously, we know Mamie started doing the makeup, or the first time she came out in costume makeup. That is what I want to say. Was at Be Free Fridays in Baltimore, and the picture has been found. And I am trying to pull it up right now, as soon as my computer decides to act correctly with me. All right, come on, computer. So, oh, wait a minute. And not only that, girl, wait till you see this. I love these are the moments I love in general, because I always love a good picture anyway. I have to do something special to be able to show it. And everyone knows, y'all know we still learning this whole StreamYard thing, so please forgive us. That is the picture from Be Free Fridays 5 years ago.
That's it.
And that is how Mamie came to the open mic and performed that night. And we were all here for it. Everybody that was there was here for it.
Sure, I need to say something. First, I don't even remember the point for me to have my hand up like that.
Right.
But I came there. I had to. Okay, now mind you, it's Elmer's glue and toilet paper. It could have been about 20 layers of toilet paper on there. I don't recall. And then I bought this black, I think it was called Demon Blood. I had bought this black fake stuff on there. And then I put like some fake, I think I put lipstick. It was red lipstick. But can you imagine me driving an hour up the road with toilet paper pieces, keep getting in my mouth, and I couldn't split it before I got there because the toilet paper would have wilted.
Right.
It has foundation on it. It would have wilted. So when I got there, I said, I can't even do a poem. I'm going to have to cut this thing open. Oh, y'all, that was crazy.
But
the freaking picture.
But it was glorious. You were committed that night. You were committed, and we were here for it. So we know that this is what so you do the costume makeup and the body art for exposure, pretty much to get your name out. I happen to know this because I've seen someone else talk about it. Your virtual makeup lessons. How does that work, and what do you do for those? That's my question.
So the virtual makeup lessons are, it's a class that I offer called it's just everyday makeup. And the everyday makeup will be customized to whatever you think everyday makeup is. So I help you with trying to create that for yourself. And it is 4 weeks of class, in person for 2 hours. I generally like to do them on Saturday, so it's 2 hours every Saturday, and I come to you.
Okay.
And so we start from beginning to end. So how to create a face. What are the things inside of the face that you love the most, whether it's your lips. Some people love banging lipstick. Some people love their eyes to really pop, or eyebrows. And some people like highlighting their contour. So they want to get those things down. And so we work on every single thing the same amount of time. So, even if you have to come back and revisit some of those things, it wouldn't be too far off from you to like grasp it and make it better for yourself. But it's 4 weeks of class.
Okay. And you offer that in person and virtually, correct?
The in-person classes are for 4 weeks, and the virtual classes are for 2 hours. preferably in the evening. And I do anything from brows to how to lay your eyeshadow, even lipstick and stuff like that. Like some people want to know how you get it to be perfect. And there are ways to perfecting lipstick and perfecting lip gloss. So, you know, those are some things that I work on in virtual classes.
Okay, and that's even though we talk about art and writing, and for people that do wear makeup on stage, it's different. So, do you teach artists, poets, performing artists, I will say it that way, how to do a better makeup so that it shows that you're not washed out on stage?
I can. That is getting a little bit closer to theatrical makeup, which is a heavier makeup application. But I do teach you how to set your face with the proper things to set your face, so you won't look like, you know, your makeup is moving. That I cannot stand. I will never excuse it. I will never give into it. But no, your makeup should not be moving. So there are things that you can prep your skin with, so it won't do that.
I'm trying to think last time my makeup moved. It's been a while because my best friend is also a makeup artist. So
yes.
I've learned a lot over the years. And I think I've learned how to stop my makeup from moving. I think now I need to work on a new foundation color. I think that's where we're at now. Girl Genius says, I just want to not look crazy in my photos.
No, I actually, Gigi, call me. And this is my thing. When I first got into makeup, every shade of brown was challenging to me because I only knew what my shade was.
Right.
And so
I'm glad you said that.
Yes, it was just everything I bought was for me, but I was putting it on everybody, and you cannot. So the most challenging for me to do was a deeper tone. So what I have specifically trained my eye to do is to look for those undertones in deeper tones. My deeper skin, because the others, I see light. I'm not light skinned, but I do see light. And so a lot of artists, even myself, sometimes it's hard to tone down that light when you see someone who has a deeper tone skin, and then you're like, oh my gosh, what color is their primer? Oh gosh, what color is their powder? You know, and stuff like that. And then all you have to do is go in reverse, in which I wasn't getting that concept at first. If you go in reverse and then just really learn what undertones is. And it kind of helps me being a hairstylist or learning like color. It all plays into the same thing. The color, if you learn that color wheel, it is your very best friend in life.
Wow. I know both of them fall under the art of cosmetology.
Yeah.
But you never think of it hair color versus makeup color and undertones. I hadn't thought about that before.
Yeah, because in hair color we call it base. So your undertone in your skin would be your base. You know, so it's like it could be challenging to find those things in deeper tones, but and I think like now everyone is pretty much understanding that light skin doesn't always have yellow undertone. A lot of light skinned people can be very neutral. Brown skinned people can be neutral too. I'm neutral. I had to start taking that yellow out of my face because I was looking like yellow under here, yellow patches. And where it became the brightest, that's how you know it's not. If it didn't blend in, that's not your color.
I like that. I like that you said that. If you had one piece of advice as a makeup artist to give to the masses, what would it be?
Everyone doesn't like what you like. You cannot train someone to like what you like. I always try to go into a situation, and this is just like life. I try to go into a situation with a white piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's a relationship, you're going to write your own story. If I'm going into a situation with a client, I need to have a consultation with them. So I need to write their story.
Mm-hmm.
They can tell me what they don't like. I can always tell them what I can suggest. And things like that. But I don't want to go into it with my idea as a makeup artist, because either you're going to get into I want to say a confrontation, but you can get into an argument. Because once you finish that face and it don't look like what they want, they're not paying. You're going to find yourself taking and removing off something that you probably think it was you popped it, you made it popping. No, you didn't. Just go ahead and take it off.
That's true. I agree, Kaniki. That was a whole word. Yeah. And that is no matter what your art is. Not everybody's going to like what you like.
Nope.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure I didn't have anything else I wanted to ask you. Oh, you know what? We're going to go 360 this back to how we met. Are you still writing?
I am still writing, but it is forever changing, going in different directions. I can listen to erotic poetry, but I can't get it out of me to save my life.
That's a lie, because I just heard you do one, but that's another thing. Continue.
That was like, I don't like you no more poem.
That
was like, bye boy.
Poem. It's an erotic, I don't like you anymore poem. That's what I heard. I will listen to it again later today after this thing is over, and I will inbox you and tell you again.
It was a release poem.
Oh,
but for me to, like, I don't know, like in love poems, they don't come out of me. And I'm just like, I know how to love. I want to love you, but I just, to get it down, I haven't gone to that space. Or sometimes a person can get you to that space and you can just like write freely. And I'm not blaming it on anyone. It's me. I just never.
I get it. I don't think, I'm trying to remember the last, actually, I just started working on one recently, but like the last flat out love poem I finished, I'm going to say it's probably been about 3 or 4 years. Like just a flat out, I like you a lot, I love you poem.
Okay. Was it about a person? Was it about a person?
It was a very annoying time in my life now that I look back on it. This has absolutely nothing to do with the person, but I was seeing someone and it was during 30-30, and it seemed like every poem I was writing during that period was about him. And I want to say, like, one of the poems was, I'm really tired of writing about you. And that's been about 4 or 5 years ago. I mean, I've written but also I have had a bit of, I don't want to call it writer's block. I want to call it, I'm going to call it like a fear of completion, because I've written some very good love poems that I do love a lot, that I still perform all the time. And I'm afraid, hear me out. Okay. To my team member that just posted, writer's block does not exist. Let me explain myself quickly. I fear that I will not write anything as good as I already have. And that's and anytime I write something, I want it to be as good or better than what I already have.
I understand.
Okay, so it's not that it's writer's block. It's like I get ideas and I start putting words on paper, but then I'm going, this doesn't seem as good as anything I've already written, so I end up stopping.
I just lied. I did have a poem. I used to do a poem called My Mr. One Day, but I can't find it, and I can't remember it. And I used to do this poem when I would go into the venues, like very early on, like 2012, 2013. I would always do this poem. I know how it starts off, but I can't finish it. And it was like, ooh, I want you. That very thing it takes to make you. I can't remember nothing else after that. All I know is that poem got me in trouble because some man in the venue would think I was talking about them.
That happens every time.
If you looking into the crowd, brother, I see you, but I am not concentrating on you. And it's like after a show or something like that, and you'll have somebody buying you a drink, and I'm just like, I gotta drive. I'm good. Or something like that. But it was not for, it was really just to, I would be loud just to get their attention. It was not for any particular person. And I was just like, I'm gonna stop doing this damn poem. I don't even want to remember it no more. You know, I just had to stop it.
That is the mark of a good artist, is that we can bring someone into that feeling, into this emotion that we are portraying. I'm like, yeah, but every poem ain't about everybody in the audience. 'Cause I've done sparkly things.
I love sparkly things.
Thank you. And I've had men that I have never met, would know from a can of paint as I'm standing here right now having this conversation with you, tell me, oh, that poem is about me. I'm like, huh, what?
What have you done?
I don't know. But the flip side of that same compliment, because I take it as a compliment, it just feels weird. The flip side is that I have had couples hear that piece and say, yes, that's us.
Wow.
Yes, I've heard that as well. So it's
I can't remember this one part, but it's a pause that you do in there, and I'm just like, continue. Just say it. And I'm like, it's like you want to hear it, and you can imagine it in your head. You know, that's the best part of it. But I do love sparkly things. And when you came up with sparkly things was, I want to say the first time I heard it was in 2016, I think it was. And I say that because it was after and I'm about to thank you. It was after my brother passed. And I wasn't going out into the venues. I wasn't going out. And the first time I went out and I saw you, and I don't know where, I saw you and you saw me, and you came and you just grabbed me and hugged me. And it was like, you know, I know some people knew, but you just didn't say anything. It was no words. And you just came and grabbed me, and I needed that so bad. So bad. It was just no words. You didn't even say anything when you let go. And I will never, ever forget that. Never.
Okay. This is I'm not supposed to cry. I'm not supposed to cry in these days. I'm not supposed to cry. But I will tell you something. There's another piece that I have that I write. I write love, I write erotic, and I write a lot about, and my other big topic is depression and sadness. And that's interesting that I probably could like write something about that right now. And there's the poem in I See Dead People.
I see dead people.
And towards the end of that piece, I say, there's a portion about crying and letting it out, because there is crying aloud in poetry. You sparked that line. I don't know what happened, but you were performing, and I think you cried in the piece and then apologized. And I was like, no, don't apologize. It's allowed. It's allowed. And then I wrote the rest of that piece around that. And I don't think I've ever told you that. Oh, we should have warned the audience. Yeah, we're talking to the homies. We're talking to the homies.
Yeah.
That is true, Kaniki. That is true. A hug without words is everything. You never know when people need them. But yeah. So yeah, that part of the poem was sparked by you. That I don't remember what night it was. Sparkly Things as a poem is 8 years old.
It's 8 years old.
Wait a minute, miscount. 7 years old. I wrote it in 2014, and It was based off something stupid somebody said to me. So this is your lesson for everyone today. It is a gorgeous love poem. I do believe I will post a video of it because I just had one taken. I just did it recently. And the spark of that piece was something stupid somebody said to me one day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, do you remember who it was?
Yes, I do, and I'm smart enough not to say it out loud. So,
Whew. Memories can stay and memories can go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
That's true. That is true. Asha, that is right. This is the moments that are missing from 2020 because you couldn't get that.
Yeah.
You couldn't get that in person. The best poems are written after poems just like that. Yeah. Later. We'll talk about it, y'all. We'll talk about it.
Yes.
Okay. So I always end my interview asking, if you've ever watched Inside the Actor's Studio, I ask all my artists the same 9 questions, just kind of as a get to know you, because that's the part of this piece, is like to find out about what you're passionate about, to talk about writing, and just to get to know you a little bit.
Okay.
These questions are focused on poetry and writing because that's where they were. So that's why I'm glad I kind of brought it back full circle to talking about writing.
Okay, is this like a me?
No. These are no. Just answer off the top of your head.
Okay.
Tell us what brought you to writing poetry?
Loneliness.
Can you elaborate?
I was into church. I was in the church for a very long time, from about 2003 up until 2017.
Mm-hmm.
But in 2010, I had a bad car accident. And in 2011 is probably when I started writing again. I used to write a lot when I was little, when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
But I wrote a poem for a young man, and he was like, "What is this?" Oh, my God. I never wrote again until I became an adult. I just felt like boys didn't appreciate it. So I didn't write again until I was an adult.
Oh, wow. That they don't.
And so, just going in and out of relationships and not getting what I want. It was just a lonely period at that time.
So tell us the story of your first experience performing poetry live on stage.
It's ironic because I didn't perform. My first time performing was at Sahara.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone thought I was a producer of a show, but I was a co-host of Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
Just me. And so people thought I was just out here getting poets, and I was trying to grab poets for my show, but at the same time I had not performed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
I had not performed at all. And so Twist and Word said, "Do we have any more poets?" It was like everyone was shy. "Do we have any more poets? And I was like, "Me." And he was like this. Mm-hmm. "Do you recite?" I said, "Boy." Mm-hmm. And then I got up there and I did that poem, "Ooh, I want you." And then he was like, "What in the world?" So after that, I got my first feature with Sahara. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But it was amazing.
So this is the question that, because we haven't even touched on this. Your stage name was Stiletto. Why did you choose that stage name, and what did you want the audience to get from it?
No one has never asked me that question.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
No one has ever asked. And I said, I'm not, they might not want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted something appealing. I wanted something that was a part of me, but I also wanted it to be a mystery at the same time. And so I always wore stilettos to church. And my mantra at that time was, I'm going to stand as tall as I can so I can hear the things that God has for me. Ooh. But it didn't relate like that in poetry. I was writing a lot of social injustice pieces. And in turn, just I kept being me. I was wearing my heels and stuff like that. And so no one never, you're the first person who ever asked me that.
Favorite memory of me and Mamie is I did a feature, she did the spotlight, and at Mic Check in Washington, D.C. Oh my God, I can't remember what year this was, but the person that was hosting walked in and she looked at me and looked at Mamie and she's like, I should have known better than to come here in jeans and a sweatshirt.
Who was that?
I think it was AEIOU. She was just like,
Alicia.
She looked at us and said, I should have known better.
We sure did have on heels.
We did. We had on heels and dresses, our faces beat. We were cute that night.
Oh, I remember that picture. Oh, I remember the picture.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So yeah, very poets come. I'm just going to say that there are, of course, people in the middle, but female presenting poets come either very, I'm just going to say casual, to the jeans and tennis shoes end, or extremely dressed up.
Prom dress.
Huh? There are people in the middle, but at a minimum, if me and Stiletto were in a room, we could be wearing jeans, but we're going to be wearing heels, like jeans and heels.
We're going to be having on some heels. Ooh.
Yeah, yes. There are a couple of people like that. It's like you look around the room, like, who am I competing with the shoes with tonight?
And they would actually have some little, they would be like, I remember, I don't know, I think Black Chakra was there. Mm-hmm. And he said something about people's shoes, or he was taking pictures of people or talking on the mic about some people's shoes. And that night I wasn't included because I didn't have on any stilettos. So I wasn't going to embarrass myself at all. But I do want to say my first feature, that night they had drinks. They had a drink maze called Stiletto. They had a stiletto contest.
Nice.
Yeah, that was amazing. Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. To know me and to love me is to know I love my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I love my shoes.
I know.
Who is your favorite writer? This can be a songwriter, poet, author, anyone you consider a writer.
My favorite writer is Jill Scott. And I say that because she makes me, like, some of her poems are recorded, and I forgot where I found a couple of them at, but she makes me think. Mm-hmm. And she makes me use my imagination, even in some of her songs. Mm-hmm. I mean, I still listen to some of her songs, and I feel like that I haven't heard some things in the songs before. Mm-hmm. And so she's probably my favorite writer.
Comment for you from Rebecca. Your locks look amazing.
Well, thank you.
And congratulations to Rebecca Dupas for her Legends Award. At the
yes! Congratulations.
You can have a 1-hour conversation with anyone in history, living or dead. Who would you choose and why?
Man. Okay. And I'm going to say this only because I've read the biography of him, Frederick Douglass biography. Mm-hmm. I think people pretty much have him a little bit confused on his journey into helping slaves to become free. And it was just as vigorous. It was just as complicated. It was as the road that Harriet Tubman took. And I think that he is, when he's being talked about or taught about, I think that they don't really get into some of the explicit things that happened while he was trying to create this free state. He had a very arduous journey. And I think that it sounds a little easier in books. And I'm just like, I think they just had them all wrong. Sometimes I think they had them all wrong. But I
Mm.
would love to sit down with him, and I would like to try, when I read books, I try to imagine what their voice sound like, whether it's a man or a woman.
Mhm.
And that's just me. That I don't know if that's weird, but I just try to get in touch with the author in that way, whether they're alive or past. I just try to imagine what their voice is speaking to me.
Oh, I cast books. Like if I'm reading a book, like in my head, I'm like, okay, who's the
Do you do
actor?
that voice?
So I can hear the voice of the character. Like, so I will go through and cast the book in my head as I'm reading.
I like
Sounds-
that. Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah.
it sounds weird. It sounds weird. I know, my bad. So since you're living in Baltimore, we're going to say Pier 6. Pier 6 concert venue is set up for you with 3 acts, living or dead. What's the concert you're seeing?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Yeah, Pier 6 Concert Pavilion is set up for you. 3 acts, living or dead. Who's performing that night?
3 acts
Yeah.
performing.
Mm-hmm.
This is just where I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Bilal needs to make a comeback.
Ooh, that is the first time we've heard Bilal.
I'm heavy on Bilal. I think he's misunderstood. And then he could be what people think of him. But, you know, I think that he's not taken as serious as he was when he first made an appearance. Okay. I'll say Bilal will probably be my entertainment piece.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have to throw Rob Brown's voice in there.
Oh,
to be my poet of inspiration in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm gonna throw a prayer piece in there. I think that I would enjoy hearing Sarah Jakes in there.
Ooh, that show so works for me.
I think I would enjoy hearing Sarah Jakes in there.
Tell us something about yourself that most people would not know.
Every time I get asked this question, it comes out in various ways.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll start out with the main one. I'm still a tomboy at heart.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Still a tomboy at heart. I read more than what people think that if they never knew, I do read a little bit more. I mean, I have a lot of time here.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm gonna slide in a Danielle question.
What she say?
She was asking this one during the quarantine a lot. What are you reading right now?
What am I reading? I actually went back to, this is odd. I mean, not odd. Okay, so Love the Poet wrote a book.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's called Black. Hold on, get it.
Go ahead.
Because I could not believe I never got through the book. It's called Black Marks on White Papers.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And so when I first bought it, let me tell you how far I got. Mm-hmm. It's on page 113. It's a lot of stuff in here. But I got to page, you can't see it, to page 113. And I don't know why I didn't finish it. So that's why I'm picking it up to finish the book now. So what I did is I went back like halfway to the book and to finish it because it just kept sticking out at me. I mean, I have a small area for where books at that's like easily for me to reach at, and then I have some like in all these little Audemars things. But it was just sticking out, huh?
Your comfort stack of books.
Yeah, it was just sticking out to me, and I was like, I've been learning that. So I went back to it, and I'm just like, I would really like to ask her some questions about it. Like her position on some of the pieces in there.
Well, it is our hope to have Love on the platform.
Oh yeah.
We've been trying to schedule it, so hopefully soon we'll be able to get it scheduled.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is, do you have another creative outlet? And if not, is there something you want to learn?
I am really open to learning something new.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because I am retiring from here December 28th.
Mm-hmm.
And I do have a transitional job right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to take a job, not I had to, but I wanted to take a job that had nothing to do with hair.
Mm-hmm.
And nothing to interfere with makeup. So I am really open to learning something new. And when I say learn, I mean I'm just ready to go.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I understand. I can understand. So this is the last question, and then I'm going to invite my team to come on and join the stream for some final questions. If you are in the audience and watching and you have a question you would like to ask Mamie about makeup, about writing, now is the time to ask, and we will definitely get it on the screen. So the last question is this, directly taken from Inside the Actor Studio. If heaven exists, what would you want to hear God say when you arrived at the pearly gates?
That he knew I tried every time I said I tried. I don't want it to be, I mean, you can always say what you don't want it to be, but I don't want to hear, no, you didn't. I don't want to hear, girl, why is you lying? I want him to say, I want him to be satisfied at my tries, because we know what we can do. But even when we try something, we want to know that we gave our all. Even if the outcome wasn't great, we gave our all. And so I want him to tell me that he accepted my tries and that they were great. I want him to tell me that.
I agree. I love that idea. I love that. So we are waiting for Girl Genius to come back, but I have put Kaniki on the screen.
Hey. Let me just say, your makeup looks amazing today. I'm loving the lip, and you and Sherry kind of matched each other today, like a little.
I saw her. Thank you.
I had two questions. I wanted to know who did that painting behind you on your wall.
Oh, so my homegirl in the painting, I don't know her. I don't know who did it. It's a tapestry, a piece of tapestry.
Wow.
And so when I bought it from Amazon, I thought it was as big as a wall that I had measured, and it was not. It was too small.
Wow.
Because I wanted it to go from corner to corner, and it was short. So I just used it as backdrop.
Yeah, it reminds me of something Sherry would have, but anyway, that's another story.
Y'all should see what she got on.
It really does, though. It really does. Everything.
Oh, okay.
Between the wine, the backdrop, it reminds me of.
All right. I accept it.
Okay, and then my other question would be, what are you most proud of?
Oh, man. I am really proud of my son.
I knew that was the answer. I somehow knew that was the answer.
Yeah. If he is on here and I don't know, I'm going to get him. But, okay. My son he enlisted last year, unbeknownst to anyone. So I know when my son gets quiet, he's a Capricorn like me. He be 2 days apart.
Like us.
So when my son gets quiet, I know he's up to something. And so it was like, Markel, what are you doing? I haven't heard from you. What you doing? Coming up, or you're never home. And he was like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. Next thing I know, and it was kind of bittersweet. I had my favorite aunt. She passed the COVID last August. On the same day, my son called me and said, guess what I did? I said, what? He said, I enlisted into the Army. I just sworn in. I was at work, and I was like, how am I going to tell him about my auntie that passed? But I was at work, and I could not hear anything. I said, you did what? And I said, where are you? He said, I'm at home, but I got to go to MAPS. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm finishing. I'm going to call you. And so the irony of the whole thing and being bittersweet is that I was going into the Army when I got pregnant with my son.
Wow.
My auntie passed that day, so it was like bittersweet. But my son was also a armed guard at the IMF building and the World Trade Center downtown. And my son had been working, they did some crazy stuff with the hours and stuff. And, he was making a lot of money. And so, when he told me, I was just like, huh? And I'm thinking about livelihood. I'm thinking about what you have and all these other things. And I said, one thing I know about my son, he has figured it out. He's not going to go into a situation that's going to either be worse or not benefit him. Y'all, my son went in there with no debt. No debt. No debt. And I'm so proud of him. And he may have his little credit cards now, but he had a car, y'all. And if he on here, he probably, don't be mad, son. But he had a 2019 Infinity. 2020? In 2019 Infinity. Bought it in 2019. And it was under lease. And my son went in only owing $395 of wear and tear. He was under the mileage. He didn't owe anything. And I was just like, what in the world? But he sorted out. He already knew. He knew what he had to do before because he got quiet. He was working things out. He was working on his own. Didn't ask for any help. And I was just like, this is so good. But y'all, I miss his socks off his big toes. I miss this man so much, y'all. I miss him so much.
That's a testament to you did good, Mom. You did good, Mom.
Can I just say, only a poet would say, I miss his socks off his big toes. Only a poet.
That's true. Only a poet.
Y'all, I just want to see his big toe. He got pretty feet too, but I want to see his big toe. Like he may laugh at some of the things I say, but it's just trying to not make things so heavy of missing him and stuff like that. Because I only have one. I don't have 10 children. I only have one. So, trying to keep things at bay, not trying to blow things up when I don't hear from him, or just he has to live his life. And but call me, boy. Call me.
Well, he did during the show.
But I can't wait to see
after
him.
the show's over. After the
show is over.
If he's not watching after the show's over.
Yeah, I want to see him eat his food on Thanksgiving. I want to I told her, I said, I can't wait till you to come home. He said, why? And I said, so I can kiss you, touch you, hug you, bite you, all of those things. I want to do all those things. And he just laughs, but it's the truth. I just want to look at him.
I don't think kids really get it. And I'm glad that mine do not watch this because I'm surely about to embarrass them a little bit. One thing that I've loved in past Christmases and past years is that we would spend the night at my mother's house, which we can't do this year, which we won't be able to do this year. But we would spend the night at my mother's house. And at some point in that 24-hour period, I will hear them in a back room somewhere in stitches laughing. I don't know what they're talking about, I don't know what they're doing. I have 2 daughters. I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what they're doing, but they are just back there talking and laughing. And in my mind, that is like the happiest moment, just to hear just that noise of just them 2 cackling.
Yeah.
That's happiness right there.
Yeah.
Okay. So Janique asks, if you created a show about you, who would you cast on the show? And what aspect of your life would you focus on? And would it be a drama or a comedy?
It's gonna have to be a comedy because some things are just too heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to have to turn there. I'm going to have to switch everything. And I think, who would I want to play me? Is that the question? That part of the question? Who would I want to play?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
You got to play yourself, man.
I'm going with Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Actually, I've seen Mamie do makeup as Jill Scott. So
I was thinking about that too.
Guess what? I wasn't gonna pick her.
huh?
I wasn't gonna pick her. Okay.
Exactly.
I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to pick a Black comedian
Mm-hmm.
who can pull it off.
Comedian.
Some more? Is
Yeah.
that her name? Some more?
No.
Who?
No.
Some more.
No.
Well, it won't be Monique.
No.
Not some more.
Not Tiffany Haddish. Like I'm not.
Mm-mm. I know who I would want to play me, but she could be funny too. Queen Latifah.
Oh yeah.
I'm here for that. I'm here.
She could do comedy. She got her little comedic ways too.
Mm-hmm.
I think she could do it.
I agree. I like that. And what aspect of your life would you like the show to focus on? Like, is there a certain time period or a certain?
I'm going to say, yeah, I would say it would be the time period of me trying to figure out being a mother. When my son was little, I was in school. I was a full-time manager at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to figure it out, and had all the reasons to quit, but people just kept reminding me, no, you're not, you can't afford. And one reason is, I don't know if you guys know, but it costs over $40,000 to go to hair school right now.
Wow.
I literally paid $4,995.
Wow.
To go to hair school in 1996.
Mm-hmm.
90, no, my son was 1998, 97,
Mm-hmm.
one of those.
Right.
And the answer is no if I ever had to do that again. But okay. I would like for her to portray what it was having a young child and trying to figure out life, supporting him, nourishing his feelings and emotions. Y'all, that was challenging, and trying to keep mine under wraps too. It was challenging, and pushing through. I will, yeah.
Okay. So your question from our shadow mail member analysis.
Yeah, there's one from analysis and one from Rebecca. There's one from analysis and one from Rebecca.
Okay. So I'm going to do analysis first, and then I'm going to do Rebecca's.
Okay.
You've touched on Sci-Fi Channel contacting you, and we've recently had Mia Neal and Jamaica Wilson become the first Black folk to win Oscars for hair and makeup. Do you see your art going forward getting into movie and TV contracts? Is this something that you begin researching regarding what you can charge? Do you need to unionize?
I need to unionize. That is first and foremost. Mm-hmm. And I am not going to say that it's saturated, the makeup, but it's saturated in this area. So it is the absolute truth that you have to go away to actually start working in what you're doing. You have to go away to get your name out. You have to go away when it comes to those things. I want to say, and I have been researching, there are only 4 Black, I want to say sci-fi, but I want to say there are only 4 Black makeup artists that actually get credit, because there are many, but there are only 4 Black women that get credit for their work in pictures. Their salary, get this, it can be as high as $475,000 for one movie, or as low as $125,000. Depend on it depends on what aspect of the movie that they're working on, because it may not be the whole entire movie. But when I saw that, there are many more Black makeup artists, whether they're male or female, but there are only 4 women, not men, only 4 women that get credit for the work that they do. Yeah.
That's a lot. And considering the number of makeup artists that I know, even in the DC area,
Yeah.
that's deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the question from Rebecca is, what is the title of the poem or piece you want to but haven't written yet?
Oh my God. I just want to say, Rebecca, thank you. I think I would title the poem, "It Won't Always Be Like This."
And Rebecca, if that question comes up in future interviews, I will credit you, because that's a damn good question.
I think I would name it, "It Won't Always Be Like This."
Can we get that poem from you?
Anytime. You can just inbox us.
And I'm going to get started on it, because I say that to myself a lot. Whether things are going on good, whether things are challenging. I don't like to say when things are bad. I say when things are challenging. And so I do say that to myself a lot.
And I'm going to have to say, I'm going to need that. Yeah, we all need to hear that poem. We all kind of want to hear that. So we'll wait. We'll be patient.
That's a good workshop. I might have used that for a workshop.
That is a really good question.
I will credit you.
Yeah, we always credit.
Listen, you'll get credit for this on this side. You will get credit for this. If you ain't getting credit for the makeup part.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, see, everybody wants that poem. It's
not
always going to be like this.
Yeah.
Maybe you know what I'm gonna start doing, because now she just spiraled into other stuff. I'm gonna start ending all my book segments with I'm gonna give y'all a writing prompt or something. I need like I feel like this is where we are now.
Right.
The whole idea just spiraled.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah. And if anybody is looking for writing prompts, this is a selfless plug right now. Please follow Love Sexy Classy Nasty on Instagram. I do post prompts. I'm trying to get weekly, but just whenever anything good hits me, that's when I post.
That too. I do have a question for you before the last question, which I usually ask, and this will give everybody a couple minutes if anybody has anything else they want to put in the chat. So I want to circle back to what you said earlier. You had that really great quote about not everybody's going to like what you like. And then you kind of talked about kind of figuring out, as far as your makeup clients are concerned, kind of figuring out what their story is. Do you find that is also a trait you want to have to be a good poet?
I think I would. Are you talking about publicly or just for myself?
Both. Like knowing your story and putting it out there. I know it's not exactly the same thing as knowing someone else's story and kind of doing that, but do you think that like kind of just digging into story helps as a makeup artist and as a poet? This
is how I am. I I like to be on the backside looking at stuff like develop or unfold. And if I had an ounce to do with that, then I just be like on the inside, I'm like this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that when it comes to me, I feel like I have to give up a lot of energy to get there, or to, like, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, and you probably already know, every time I hit the mic, y'all,
Mm-hmm.
I was so nervous that I would pray that I don't stutter. I would literally pray that, because I didn't want to, but I always had to. My thing, if you remember, I would always say, "Hey y'all,"
Mm-hmm.
and when I say "Hey y'all," it depends on how strong it came out, that I knew how I was going to project the poem, and then I just kind of felt the temperature, or kind of get some kind of way of how it was going to go. And I always knew when it wasn't going to come across how I wanted to come across. So I'm going to say yes to both publicly and to myself,
Mm-hmm.
because you can kind of, I mean, it's a feeling. It's a feeling when you get out there. And so I always wanted to, everyone always wants to be their best. Yeah, so I'm going to say yes to both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
A year and some change, almost 2 full years of this show, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to look at everyone completely differently when we get back to
Mm-hmm.
like full time being able to see people in person.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to remember that now. It's going to be in the back of my head. So every time you say, "Hey, y'all," I'm be like, okay, I know what's coming.
That was the reason why I did that, because I wanted to see how it would come out.
I'm now going to remember this, and I'm going to hear it every time you say it, which means you got to come out and do some poems. No. You have to come out and do some poems now.
At anytime, we'll take you. You know that.
Please,
I will,
please.
Yes.
Come through. You know that.
Hi.
So I will leave the floor. If does anyone else in the audience that has been watching have any questions or anything else we want to ask our artist for the evening, Ms. Mamie? Because I loved having you tonight. This has definitely been an amazing conversation.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah. Oh no. And it's like this. And what happened in this is definitely why we call it a masterclass, because you never know what tidbit and jewel you're getting from everybody.
True.
All
right, girl genius. You may
your
now
last
ask
one.
Last
your
question.
last question. It's the easiest, but it's the hardest question. Always. So it's the easiest question, but the hardest question. Here you go. And now that you've been on the show, who do you think we should get as a guest? Any of the segments we have. It doesn't have to be this. It doesn't have to be Sherry's segment. Although you've done Sherry's segments now, you know it. Remember, we have Let's Talk About ... We have Poets and Platforms. Pick one and throw some people out that you think would make a good guest on the show, a good conversation piece.
I'm going to say my girl, Leisha.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
AIOU, yes.
She has so many facets to her. I mean, y'all, let me tell you what she did. And I know she ain't tell nobody this. When I first moved into my apartment here in Baltimore, I moved here in January, and I think it was the beginning of April. And she kept saying, "I'm going to come see you. I'm going to come see you." I was like, okay, because I heard people say, "I'm going to come see you." I'm like, okay. So none of those people showed up. And then it was that morning, it was raining outside, and she was like, "Oh, I'm going to come see you. Are you home?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm home." She said, "Okay, I'm going to come see you. What's your address?" She put my address in. Y'all, she showed up with a bag of food to cook.
Oh.
She cooked me steak. It was filet mignon. She cooked me filet mignon. She cooked, I think it was broccoli. She did some asparagus. And I was just like, I couldn't do anything in the kitchen. She didn't want She was like, I got this, and I'm sitting over there. We had our little glass of wine. We were sitting and talking, laughing, singing, having a good time. To this day, I can't thank her enough. And everything was exquisite. It was pretty. She plated it up. Oh, yes. I mean, I think there are so many pockets to her that we just don't even know. It's so much to her.
I need to get her to come over here and
she was
cook
like,
for me.
Mamie, huh?
Yeah, I need her. She's cooked for me. I need her to keep for me. We talk about the same part. I need her to cook for me too.
Yeah, I didn't know she was coming to cook, and when she had
that's
that
amazing.
Food, y'all. Yeah,
she's
amazing.
She definitely writes some very powerful poems.
Some door knockers and headbangers.
I'm about to text her right now.
Go right ahead, Leah. Because we're definitely starting the book 2022.
Yes.
Yes,
I know we started this
in the Luke 2022. Yes.
Yeah, we started this in the quarantine, as you know, to make sure that we keep the mic on, that we keep poetry alive. But here we are 2 years later, and we're still rocking it and still having a good time, because there are still conversations we want to have.
The list is still there, and the list is still growing. It's like the best open mic list I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yes. Yes, that is the truth. So the first thing I want to say before I say thank you to Mamie is that at the bottom of the screen, we are scrolling Mamie's Cash App. So if you would like to support her directly, as she said, prosthetics and things are not cheap. If you don't have any money, the inexpensive way to support is her website is at the top. You can connect to her Facebook. You can connect to her Instagram. You can connect to her TikTok.
Follow, like, share.
Follow, like, and share. That don't cost nothing, nobody. Tell your friends, oh my God, have you seen this?
I'm going to put this out there. My wife absolutely loves your IG page. Every time I show her all the time, because she doesn't do social media like that. So I show her when I have it up. She's like, oh my God, she's great.
But it's scary.
It's not always scary.
No, listen, I said I was scared. At work, I was like, what did I say? If she comes on here with a scary face, when she get ready to keep the mic on, I'm running. I'm like, is that you? How did you do that? Yeah, it's amazing. But it's scary. I'm just saying.
It's only because, like,
it was
I tried to sneak in. I tried to sneak in some like pretty ones, but they just got twisted up in my head.
But it's pretty and scary. Like, I don't know how it's scary and pretty, but it is.
I'm going to say this up front. I loved the twisted characters. I was here for them all.
I will tell you guys, if anybody in this audience has not seen the page, then all the info is up. The Ronald McDonald one was freaking brilliant. The Ronald McDonald was absolutely brilliant.
Okay, you better go ahead and we got our famous lean. We got our famous lean.
Our nightly lean in is
happening. Hey.
Okay. All right, and we have another vote for Medusa.
Can I tell you about the Ronald McDonald one?
Sure.
So I actually seen another young lady who did it, and she is, I want to say she's Russian. And y'all, when I tell you, her page is absolutely mind blowing, but she just doesn't get the recognition and stuff. She is mind blowing. So I went on there, and at the time when I saw the McDonald piece, it was maybe 2 or 3 days old, and she didn't hardly have any likes on it. And I was like, what is wrong with people? So I went on there, and that's why I put the inspiration was from her. The inspiration part was that she put a bow. Yeah, she put a bow right there, and she put that old-fashioned M on there with the little like jumpsuit. And so I used the bow, not the shirt. I don't know about the shirt, but I used the bow, and she went and commented, and she said, "This is amazing." That mouth right there. I had plenty of people on TikTok say, "Is your mouth open or is it closed?" And so I said, zoom in. I can't zoom in on TikTok. So I said, it's closed. It was only the bottom of my lip that was pink and the full bottom lip, but it was all closed. That was
if
pretty
you look
funny.
at it, you can see it.
Wow.
But if you look at it really well, you can see it. But if you weren't, yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's funny to me. Yeah.
Wow. Like I said, I enjoyed them all.
That was absolutely great.
It was excellent. It was excellent.
Can I say something real quick? Thank you for the Cash App. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
It's what we do for all of our artists, and we want to make sure that you are supported any way that is possible.
Thank you.
So first off, to my teammates here at Keep the Mic On, let's give a round of applause to our guest, Ms. Mamie Beats.
Thank you.
Please connect with her on her website, and you can get to her Instagram and her TikTok from there. And you can follow her work coming in, what she does in the coming weeks and months. Get on her lives and let people know that the lives are out there.
Right.
I did not. I will put it on the screen. Can someone please? Because I've sure enough.
Put which part on the screen?
Put it on screen.
Okay, I got it now. Her IG. I do not have her IG scrolling at the bottom of the screen. I just have because I just put her
picture.
I just have the Cash App. Also, so as I mentioned at the top of the show, there we go. Okay, both of us are trying to do it. That's the problem.
Okay, I'll do it. There it is.
There it is. This Mamie Beats.
The Cash App is at the bottom of the screen.
Cash App
hold on 1 second. It's a Y, no IE.
Okay.
It's wait a
Oh,
minute.
that's
I
right.
can't see.
That's right.
MSMAYMI.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right.
But the Cash App is right?
Cash App.
Yes, the Cash App is right. Mm-hmm.
That's the most important. Like, you can Google it and find it. We want to make sure that the cash goes to the right place.
So as I've mentioned, we will be taking a break for Thanksgiving. Next week, we will be back first week in December. Follow us on all social media there it is. Thank you, Analysis.
There it is.
At Keep the Mic On across all social media. That is our website. That is our YouTube, our Instagram, everywhere. We are at Keep the Mic On, and we will be back 7 p.m.
Like, subscribe, share.
Like, subscribe, share. Let us know that you appreciate us, and we will see you all back here the first Sunday in December. Which date I don't know off the top of my head, but
I believe it is December the 5th.
That sounds right. December the 5th.
Whatever the first Sunday.
We will be back here. Everyone,
Have
please.
a wonderful holiday, all.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Stay safe, wash your hands, and we will see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.